I mean, it's glad to know that I'm popular. I mean, I knew I was popular in the homosexual community. I got hit on as much as I did. It's part of why those things irritated me so much. So I already kind of knew that. Didn't really need to know that further. I miss being popular in the female community, and I realized that that's something that was fake, and it didn't really matter. It kind of mattered, who seemed to respect me, and what superficial attributes I brought to the table that women respected. And now that I understand that, I'm not going that route. I'm not working my goals to rely on female judgment, because that is a mistake. Don't do that. Females have terrible judgment. They go for assholes. They go for losers who seem cool, but they're real losers in real life, and like their everyday, day-to-day actions and things, and what they actually do, and how they process information, things. They process information like that, and like, if you get into the dating world, you will find, if you follow female track records, you will see this poor judgment clear as fucking day in a high percentage of individuals, a very high percentage of females, and like, that's okay. I shouldn't take that poor judgment to heart. I understand it. Now, I've talked about it in the past, it's not about doing things in a way to try to like rely on that judgment and earn their respect. It's about doing things in a way to gain power and just go over everything. And that's playing the long game. And that's where I am, playing the long game. And I'm kind of sacrificing my shitty situation as it is as much as possible. And I'm saying, all right, I'm going to be in a shitty situation. Let's take my shitty situation and fucking, I'll build skills, living in the van, doing what I can. If I'm not getting laid anyway, why hygiene matters so much? It doesn't, so let's sacrifice it, Let's sacrifice it now, so maybe when I have more money, I can actually get laid in 5 years, 10 years. That's how that works. So it's a conscious decision. The world has said, this is what we want to hand you. Here you go. And I said, no, get that away from me. This is what I want. And the world said, ha, ha, ha. And I said, okay, ha, ha. I'm going to play the long game. You go fuck yourself. Because when I work hard, I win. When I fucking put the time into anything, whether it's school, whether it's a business, whether it's a project, I get it done. Saying you don't get laid very often or, in a long time is embarrassing for a lot of people. But for me, did a lot of it, and, I did a lot of it for a lifetime already, so I'll always have that. And a lot of people, some people don't really, they don't get, they can count on one hand, what they've had in their life. And, so I could die tomorrow and I'd be happy. But it's not about accepting how things are. It's making things how they should be. And I know how they should be. So, playing the long game. And if I clean up my act, because I know I'm not, the top version of myself that I can be, and I meet somebody with a cleaned up act who shows me that there's something worth, investing things in, that's a whole nother ballgame. I've just seen so much of shit that I highly doubt that I will find. I'm not saying it's not out there. That I will find something worth investing my time and my energy in. Someone worth investing my time and my energy in. Not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's highly unlikely. Just playing the odds. I've been in this world for 30 years. There was a point in my life when I cared about superficial aspects more. I cared about them just enough to try to impress the type of woman that I was looking for. But then I kind of realized, I think when I went to Europe and I met that girl who traveled a lot, things kind of changed, and I was like, I haven't really met anyone like a girl like this really in the States, who is like as chilled and laid back and wanted to travel and wasn't as wasn't focused on like these superficial bullshit aspects. So she had her group of friends and she would hang out with them and they played board games and stuff and they went to college and like, I don't know, they just seemed so like carefree and laid back and they would just go do cool stuff like every day or every other day. But it wasn't like, I didn't care about like stupid fucking things. She was like, where's my next trip? Am I gonna go to Taiwan, or I'm trying to save up money to go here and do that? And it was like, she obviously focused about her school. She cared about her family a lot. That was cool. That was important to me. Again, I cared about my family, but they showed that they really have such little respect for me that they literally can't even listen to me about me. And you only do somebody harm when you do that. You don't realize it, but you only do somebody harm when you do that. Because you make nobody else respect them. And like they have to step away for other people to see that situation, unfortunately. And that's what I had to do. Now, I tried to talk to people in my family, and I'm always the child. I'm always going to be the child. I'm not a child, so that doesn't work out. That's not how you do it. I don't try to treat other people like children that are adults. Really no need for it. Part of the reason I did this channel is to show how blatantly obvious my capabilities are. I'm not amazing at everything in the fucking world. I like to challenge myself. If something's a difficult task, maybe there's benefits to it. And just because it's harder, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. If having a portable stove versus some other way to make food or get fast food all the time, it might be a little bit harder, but, I've developed a way to have it stored and set it up, and now it's pretty convenient. It saves me a lot of money, and that's a good example. But I don't know. Like, I think this channel is a clear-cut example of how I feel about myself and how I am and how my family sees me and how they describe me and how they talk about me. And we just aren't really... The age gap was too much. And, I'm definitely a family person, and this is a lesson my family they may learn, they may never learn. I honestly think they don't really care as much about me. They care more about how they handle the situation from like a sister or like a parenting perspective, and they fucked up. And they didn't listen to me. I wasn't lying. I was telling them exactly what I was dealing with, and them not listening to me gave me so much anxiety, and them thinking that they could continue to do that and I wasn't going to notice and it wasn't going to give me anxiety, and that the way that they handled things had nothing to do with my anxiety. My anxiety was something else that I wasn't describing. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want to listen to somebody, and they're the ones who have their feelings, you can't relate to them. They're not a part of your life. That's what that means. It's very simple. I feel bad. My end result, my end action, separating myself from my family was what was best. They were either going to learn a lesson or never going to learn it, and that's on them. And I don't know, like that's for them to do. But if you treat somebody like you don't really trust them or you don't want to listen to them, you don't really care about them. Like if they're a part of your family, you don't really give a shit about them, and that's the truth. That's like, if you can't listen to somebody, you don't trust them. You really think that there's something wrong with them, or you don't respect them, and you need to get away from them. Like, you're not helping them. I don't know why you think you're helping them, but you're not. Like, you've made their situation so much harder and so much worse, and you don't even realize it. So, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry that you didn't respect me. Like, I'm not happy that I was a womanizer in my college heydays, but I was. That's who I was. That's who I wanted to be. That was my choice. That's what, I chose to do. And, like, the fact that you just so little respect for me, just coming home, doing things around your property, your house with your dogs, and you have to watch me like a fucking hawk because you don't trust me. Red flags all across the board. And it was a slow process of me separating myself from that group and that small group of my family. But it's what needed to be done. It's absolutely needed to be done, and it's for the best. So, absolutely a family person where there's a family to give a shit about. I don't have that. I didn't have a support system. If I rebuild one, I will be the best member that I can be for anybody it's worth being for. My efforts speak for themselves. But again, I have to, it's about not getting like down on yourself because something's not a certain way. It's being perfectly happy with, if this is the rest of my life, I'm going to have fun every fucking day doing it. And that's the point. That's the point. But still have high goals, but just to have fun, maybe not even in the best situations, and make the most of every day. Back to that girl from Ireland, she just kind of, I don't know, she was different. She was really different. She was from Europe, and it makes me think that when I have opportunities, that's not a bad place to travel to. So, we'll see. And that's why, for Valentine's Day, I sent her flowers, sent her roses, that cost me over $100 overseas, because that's how I felt about her. And nothing came out of it. You could say it was a waste. I'm happy I sent them still. Correction, I didn't send them overseas. I contacted a flower shop in Ireland and had them delivered to her, and they cost me over $100. And she was like, no, this is not gonna be, this is gonna hurt. I said, yep, I guess so.